Hello, so here is our Encyclia tampensis, the so-called Florida butterfly orchid. This is the one about which we made the whole performance celebrating it. Look how beautiful they are indeed, little butterflies.
Come and join me for a run through the garden so you'll get to see all the wonderful people that have come here from all parts to bring the orchids to you.
We meet at this oceanic land to honor our ancestors and share our love for discovery, earth, plants, friendship, and beauty. The garden itself first started in 1962 as a garden center. It has become a venue for arts and cultural programming, environmental education, and cultural tourism at our beloved Miami Beach.
I'm really happy to see Miami Beach having an orchid show. That's a really great thing.
Come over to the Miami Beach Botanical Garden here. You can see all these beautiful orchids, and there's vendors outside selling plants.
I come here for the arts as much as the orchids usually, so I'm excited about all the art going on here. I'm just excited to be here and participate.
And I'm just excited to be here with everybody and have a wonderful time.
Wow, look at this. This is like a wonderland. You get in here and you're so inspired because it's going back to nature. And to think that this has inspired so many artists in so many different ways.
Welcome to the first annual Orchids and Arts Festival, co-hosted by Miami Beach Orchid Society, Foundation for Emerging Technologies and Art, FETA, and the beautiful Miami Beach Botanical Garden, where you find orchids everywhere. The Orchid Adventure is a music and dance piece to celebrate our Florida native orchid species, Encyclia tampensis, this so-called butterfly orchid. It thrives equally well both in darker, swampy forests and hammocks, and also on high, dry, barren trees in full sun. As many other plants, orchids grow on the host merely for physical and mechanical support, intimacy, if you will.
They are called epiphytes. What a great word. Let's play and repeat after me. Epiphyte. Epi-epi. Epiphytes. Epi-epi-epiphyte.
My beloved orchid, tell me who you are, where you live in nature, say it loud, please, please. I am an epiphyte, I grow on live oaks and cypresses. I am an epiphyte, I grow on potash, Botanical and pine trees. I am an epiphyte, I grow on live oaks and cypresses. I am an epiphyte, I grow on potash, Botanical and pine trees. I am an epiphyte, I grow on potash, Botanical and pine trees. And pine trees,
I'd like to tell you something about our performers. Miami-based Pioneer Winter Collective believes that everybody dances and everybody carries validity and virtuosity. Rooted in social practice and community, their collaborative device work celebrates queerness, humanity, and vulnerability. We love you, Pioneer Winter, and your collective! And did you know that Miami Sound Choir is an organization dedicated to inspire positive change, combat community deterioration, and ensure accessibility for everyone? We love you, Laura! Mary's here! And the Miami Sound!
How do we get into orchids? We were born and raised in Vietnam, so we were surrounded with many different variety and species of orchids growing up.
My parents started growing orchids about 15 years ago. We like it enough, you know, you want to share it, so that's what we did.
My husband, the Jim of Jim and I Orchids, has been growing orchids for 48 years. And when I married him 25 years ago, it kind of came with the contract.
Took a summer job in a Cattleya orchid house in Atlanta. And from the first day I walked in the door of the greenhouse, I was just in love with the fragrance, the beauty, the environment. So that summer job turned into a job I never quit.
I go to all the orchid festivals, but I've never seen so many orchids in bloom in every single tent. I think this is a special treat, and the people that are joining in into this event are so many.
Many orchids are delightful immigrants. It is true that, like people, plants are adventurers and travelers too. I wonder where our orchids are originally from here in Florida. How did they get to Florida? Let's allow the spirit of our orchid to tell us.
There are about 26,000 orchid species in the world, growing on all continents except of Antarctica. In Florida, we have about 106 native orchid species. Orchids are the largest of all the flowering plant families. What's fascinating is that their seeds are extremely small, the size and weight of a dust speck. A single seed pod can hold around 3 million seeds. 3 million seeds! That's a lot of seeds. Small in size and light in weight, the orchid seeds can travel over large distances. It is thought that the orchids arrived in Florida, sliding on wind during the hurricane storms from the northern South America and the Caribbeans. The orchids are therefore rare and special. They deserve our admiration and care.
Orchids bloom when their conditions are proper for them. It's easy to understand an orchid. You think of it as a very slow-moving pet. We feed them, we treat them, and they reward us with the flowers. And to anchor the plant, you use something called a rhizome clip. Rhizome is the fat part of the root where the pseudobulbs grow out of. If that's the rhizome, you get the little roots coming down this way, and you get the pseudobulbs going up this way. So you anchor the plant, you put this on the rim of the pot, and you anchor on the rhizome. So the plant is secure now. See the little clips on the underside of the rim, and it anchors the plant in place. Ta-da!
Well, there's different types of awards that we give. We give a flower quality award, which is given to the flower itself. In fact, here we have one. We go by the shape of the flower, the color, the flatness of the flower. All these things are an integral part of deciding whether or not we're going to award it. This is Cattleya violacea. This comes from the Amazon region in South America. And we awarded this one here, and we awarded this one here today. Another type of an award is a cultural award, and we give that to specimen plants. And we've got one here. This was not awarded because it's got some problems on the foliage here. So this would be considered a specimen plant. Now, how do we remember all these things? There's so many orchids to remember. We have a computer system that has all the awards listed. So when we get a plant, and then we compare what's been previously awarded to what we're looking at.
Okay, my favorite orchid. Kind of hard to narrow it down, but I'll go with my favorite species. Cattleyas are my passion as far as a genus goes. So I only grow Cattleya orchids, and my favorite Cattleya is Cattleya bicolor. It's a Brazilian plant that gets about 4 feet tall. I love it because it's a Dr. Seuss plant.
My favorite orchid is Alelia anceps, and it became our favorite orchid because it was our very first award.
My favorite orchid is the coconut orchid because it smells so good. Every time I smell it, it's just like, you know, being on the beach and drinking a cool drink, you know?
So how many of you are looking at the screen and feel you know any of the orchids you're looking at? Can anyone guess which one this is? It is the snake mouth orchid. So they all live there. If we can take care of our environment naturally, they'll be able to come back because we make it a safe space for them to be inspired. Flowers were that first motivation and interpretation of color for animals and creatures to actually migrate. So you can actually listen to this plant's DNA in the front of the garden.
Right now, our Florida Encyclia tampensis is not in bloom. It is rejuvenating, gathering its flower power to explode in the coming months. Can you imagine, with me for a moment, music inspired by the color, patterns, and shape? We are going to sing through the individual flower segments before we sing the whole flower. Allow yourselves to experiment. Allow yourself to be inspired. Allow yourself to be a little orchid inner child. You got this. From the top.
Shall we protect?
Yes, we do!
Muchas, muchas.
Muchas, muchas.
Orquídeas.
Orquídeas.
Let's bring orchids back.
Sí.
Let's bring orchids back.
Oui, oui.
Let's bring orchids back.
Yes, yes.
Let's bring orchids back.
Yes, yes, yes.
Your voices and your spirit give me so much joy.
I don't know if you know, but Virginia Key is actually considered one of the most precious climate ecosystems in our world because there's anything like it.
Did you know that Miami Beach is home to an Orchid Society that meets every fourth Wednesday of the month? And if you're interested in the arts and love gardens, this is the place to be.